All right, I'm going to add one quick follow up question in here on the signature song. How do you feel about signature songs? Do you ever get tired of playing them? Do you like? Is it like? Because
No,
I know when artists have a big song like that, I mean, your entire show you're going to have people screaming that at you, right? Does that
right?
get
Yeah,
old? Like just
I handle it like this. If somebody yells 1985 in the first couple of songs, or even during the first half of the show, I just stop and I go, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. We're a professional rock band, and we're going to play that song last because we
mhm.
don't want everybody to leave.
Right,
So you have plenty. You have time to run to the restroom or go get a drink, or hell, you can run to the car and take a nap. We'll be back in about 30 minutes, and
right.
yeah, come back in about 30 minutes, and we'll be here. So, I deal with that kind of stuff, and it's that's all in good fun. You know, I think this, man. You know, if that's what got him there, then you give it to him and enjoy it. Like, why would you ever hate the thing? And I talk about this a lot. There's a lot of my friends who have one really big hit and they hate it
Yep.
because they hate that that's the identity of their band,
Right.
And we have a lot of hits, but we have one really big hit, and it's that's going to always be our thing. But at the same time, at least we have it.
Hmm.
At least they're there.
Yeah, it
We and
doesn't.
and they're
It doesn't matter how many hits you have. Like you
yeah.
know, we went to see Gene Watson. I've hung around Gene quite a bit, and of course, one of his bigger songs is "The Farewell Party." And I mean, the whole show, farewell party, and he doesn't get upset. And I mean, we're talking about a legend here who's got
Yeah.
dozens of hits, and this it's always the one song they're asking for.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've seen artists get extremely belligerent to fans,
Yeah. Right.
over their one hit being called for over and over again. Um, just a
Well,
reflection.
and
Go ahead.
let's in the artist's defense. I mean, audience members can be
Unruly about it, very much so. Yeah.
obnoxious,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
there is sort of a lot. Like, I do think that sometimes my deal is that I do a lot of crowd work, and we do a lot of stand up comedy and stuff too. So if it happens, I can shut it down before it gets crazy. But I've been to shows where it just gets ridiculous. They'll start chanting it. They've got the
Yeah.
whole audience,
It's scary, man. It's very scary.
and it just So I definitely can understand. I don't think that anybody should get belligerent on their, but I've seen it, and I again sometimes. And especially once they get alcohol in them, man,
Hmm.
I mean you don't understand. You're up there in a very vulnerable place. You're literally a sitting duck,
Yep.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Not just
And
that, but we're all human. Like that
Mhm.
artist might be having a really bad day, and just you hit him at the wrong point, and I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I can understand. Like, you know what? I'm an artist. I have all of these other songs. Maybe learn a new song. If you like that one, chances are you're going to like
Yeah.
some of my other ones too. So
Yeah.
you came here to listen, so listen.
And I think it's important too for the art. I think sometimes the artist needs to take a breath and go make eye contact with that person. They're singing all the songs, they're
Hmm.
excited to hear the big hit, and it's the reason they're there. And they don't the audience member doesn't understand that hearing it second would really, really put a wrench in the show.
Hmm.
That, like,
Yeah.
that would be very anticlimactic if we
Never
open
put the
up with
main event on
1985.
first, man. Never put the
Yeah,
main
where are we
event on
going?
first. Yep. Absolutely. So let's talk about the new single. The new single is called Lone Stars, and it's rising on the Texas charts very, very quickly.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about the song, how it came to be, and I always love to hear an artist talk about why a song is chosen as a single as well. If you could inform us of that.
Well, it's the first song I wrote since the record, since Just Woke Up came out. And I I knew it was a single immediately. I mean, the minute I heard, honestly, that it was the demo and all that stuff was great, but the minute I was in the studio with Zach Malloy in Nashville, and I did the vocal there, and the minute I sung the chorus, I just was like, this song's a hit. I mean, it's a hit for me. like this song should be a single, and I just knew it. And so I literally came back from that trip just going, I have a single ready. And they're like, oh, when's the new record coming out? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's just put this out. And I had every intention of trying to get an album out in June. It just makes more sense for me to wait till after this insanity of Bowling for Soup and release it next year when I can really focus on country. But it's a sappy love song, and it's about two people from Texas, two people from the Lone Star State who will never be alone, never be lone stars as long as they've got each other, and it's got my little wordplay thing in there that I do, and just had I love this song so much. It's probably uh, I mean it's up there with one of the good ones for me, actually, if I'm being honest.
Good. I completely agree. I love the song. I do love the wordplay, and that is definitely something that has been one of your signatures as well over the years. Is that kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing for you, like seeing kind of like an Easter egg? Will people get it?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I love that I love when I put those things in songs and they don't get it for a while.
Right.
And I'll have folks that I've known for years go, "Oh man, I was just listening to this and I've never really listened to that part where you say this." And all of a sudden it was like, "Holy shit, this is what he's saying." And so,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, those are fun little things. I assume that's probably what filmmakers, when they put little Easter eggs and then somebody notices it, it's that's a fun thing for me. I think for me, really, the song's written and the lyrics are written, and then I don't realize it's an Easter egg till the band starts to track it, and like nobody says anything about it, because usually if there's a really funny line or like that somebody will go, oh, that's funny, and not laugh because they're used to me, and which actually when Chris Burney heard I Want to Be Brad Pitt from the last Bowling for Soup record, he thought it was the funniest thing ever. But yeah, I it's that's sort of when it starts to hit me that, oh man, it's not obvious, that people are gonna have to work to get that one. So, uh, but yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, Curtis Grimes is really good at that double word play. I love listening to his songwriting because he always does that kind of stuff as well. It's so cool
Yeah.
when songwriters put that kind of stuff in there. And then as a listener, like when you catch on, you're like, oh, I wonder if he meant that. And then so that's where
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
inquisitiveness comes from for podcasting. Like I just
You
started
know
doing
how
this
I am
because
about and don't worry about time because now I'm having a blast. But do you know how I am about songs? Like if I like the songwriter a lot, like I especially if it's like a heartfelt song, if like I'm picturing and I'm like, oh shit, man, he meant this. Like this is real. Like I will never investigate it or ask because I don't want to know that it's not real.
yeah.
And if I find out, like I'm a huge Frank Turner fan. I mean, he's one of my buddies, but I have him tattooed on my hand, and which is funny because like if you have a friend and you're just like every time I'll just go, oh, and there's I have you tattooed on my hand, and it's right there, and
Until
and
he does the same for you, you're one up, right?
yeah, totally. But I found out that the song of his wasn't real, like, and I was crushed. Like I wanted it to be true so bad, and so like I just try not to even research anything or ask anybody stories or anything about songs because it just crushes me.
Well,
And
that's
that's
certainly the risk you take for asking. That's for sure. Um,
well, people ask me all the time. Like they'll just be like, "Hey, who's Nona in Girl the Bad Guys One?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's just a made up, thing like that. That song's not even about Nona. It's about the dude who, it's really about the guy who listens to the rap metal. Like
hmm
it's that she's a bonus.
hmm Yeah, I have a friend named Lauren Alexander who's a songwriter from Tyler, and she has a song called Wildflower. Who like it's just a beautiful song, and I thought it was an introspection thing where she's calling herself the wildflower and calling herself out for bad behavior. And boy, was I wrong. Golly.